So hello my friends, and welcome to another video. My name is George. If you're coming to this channel for the first time, I'm a professional wildlife photographer and camera operator, and that's pretty much what I do on this channel, make videos about filming and photographing wildlife. Here where I'm based in northern Greece, in a little village, right next to the wonderful Lake Erkini, famous for its Dalmatian pelicans. So I hope you stick around, hope you enjoy this video. Have a look at my back catalogue as well if you're new here, and hopefully you'll find something there of interest to you. Okay, so on with the video. Now, I spent quite a lot of time researching camera gear before finally deciding to buy anything, and sometimes it turns out to be a complete potato. It just ends up taking space on my shelf in a box in the house. But every now and again I get a piece of kit that immediately makes me think, well, why didn't I get this sooner? And that's exactly what this video is about. 3 pieces of kit that I wish I had bought earlier. Financially, things have been tough over the last few years. I'm sure I'm not the only one in that boat. So I haven't been able to keep up updating my kit in the longest time. I think 2018 was the last time I updated any cameras. But because it still works well, I'm on my Canon 5D Mark IV for stills and the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K for video. The only thing that I've been able to afford is to buy a few odds and ends that hopefully will make my life easier actually filming. And the items that I've bought, they're not the most expensive or flashiest bits of kit that I ever bought, but they've genuinely improved my wildlife filmmaking experience. They've made life easier in the field, and they've earned a permanent spot in my kit bag because of that. I should add at this point that this is not a sponsored video, and I've received no money or benefit in kind for any of these items that I'm about to talk about. All my opinions are my own. The kit has been purchased with my own money. I should add at this point as well, though, that I am an Amazon associate, and that I do earn from any qualifying purchases made by you using the links that I will leave in the description below for these bits of kit. But that doesn't impact the price that you pay at all for these items. I just earn a few pennies commission on each of your purchases. So the first item I'm going to talk about is this SmallRig A60 follow focus, which has actually transformed the way I'm able to pull focus. So when filming wildlife, a lot of people nowadays, they like to use autofocus because the technology is such now that it has improved dramatically, and you have things like animal and bird's eye focusing, which have been revolutionary. But so many times when you're actually in the field, you get branches, reeds, grass, other birds flying through the frame, other animals running through the frame, what have you, and it causes the camera to hunt at exactly the wrong moment, which is why being able to manually focus and hold focus on your subject is just so important. I actually made a video about manual focus techniques. I'll put a link to it up here somewhere. If you're interested in seeing that, do have a look. So yeah, so for many years I was using the Tilta mini follow focus, which is very similar to this one. But being on Canon lenses, I'm not sure how true this is for other brands, but for me, it's always meant that I have to focus counterintuitively. In other words, rotating the wheel forwards, away from me, would pull focus, whilst rotating the wheel backwards, towards me, would push focus. And it's completely counterintuitive, and takes hours and hours of practice to actually create the muscle memory you need to make focusing second nature when you have to suddenly grab focus on a particular animal subject in your frame. The SmallRig A60 has completely changed that. I came across this by chance whilst browsing, and as soon as I saw on the specs that the action was reversible, without any hesitation I decided to push the button and make the order. And it has radically changed the speed and the ease with which I can latch onto a subject and how well I can actually hold it in focus. Having an intuitive focus control is a massive deal, because it's not just when you try and grab focus that it's made easier, but it also allows for a really important aspect of filmmaking, which is creative control. So for example, it allows you to easily select and hold on to a subject if you're shooting in a crowded scene. And by doing so, be able to keep or draw attention to your character whilst throwing all the others in the group out of focus. Another technique frequently used is to switch attention from one subject in the foreground to one in the back, or vice versa, and being able to pull focus between them adds impact to your storytelling. And being able to do so smoothly and intuitively is just massively helpful. Tracking focus on a subject that's moving across the scene is relatively straightforward, but tracking a subject moving towards you or away from you can be really challenging. And that's also where having an intuitive system to focus comes into its own. The A60's movement is really nice and smooth, just the right amount of resistance. It gives far more control than trying to turn the lens directly, especially with long telephoto lenses like this one, where a tiny focus adjustment makes a massive difference. It's got a large, really small throw. This one also has adjustable damping, which means you can set it to feel exactly how you like it, depending on the lens that you're using. It feels really well made. It's really nicely machined. There's no play at all that I can sense in the mechanism, and once you have it mounted how it's comfortable to you, it just makes you feel a lot more confident about shooting. So for wildlife work, where patience is everything, key moments can happen in a heartbeat, being able to execute smooth focus transitions, hold focus, etc. can either make or break your shot. So really happy with this purchase and fully confident in recommending it to you. Okay, item number 2, excuse me while I take a sip, is this, the K&F variable neutral density filter with built-in circular polarizer. I used to have a variable ND a few years back, which unfortunately I dropped and broke whilst removing it one day, and money being what it was, I never bothered to replace it for the longest time, well, until last year, that is. And I'd been working without one for so long that I just forgot how useful they are. Finding a variable ND that fits onto a lens like this Sigma 60-600 is not that easy, especially living in remote northern Greece where I live. Using a matte box is out of the question because the matte box is fixed to the rails, and this lens oops, I've got it locked out, telescopes in and out, so using a fixed matte box on the rails is just not an option. The 105mm front ring also makes it difficult to find a filter to fit this particular lens. So thankfully though, somebody sent me a link to this K&F filter, which amazingly also comes in a 105mm diameter ring thread. So again, bit the bullet, ordered one. And my fear of the dreaded X vignette and loss of image quality thankfully proved to be unfounded. And it's made a massive difference in being able to shoot in brighter conditions without having to sacrifice depth of field by stopping down to a ridiculous aperture and losing the beautiful bokeh that we all like to have in our images in shallow depth of field. The built-in polarizer is also a massive bonus when it comes to cutting glare down. The variable ND lets me keep my preferred shutter angle for a natural motion blur whilst adjusting exposure as the light changes. And with the polarizer I can reduce reflections on water and reflective surfaces. It improves color saturation and reveals details, as if you've used circular polarizers you'll know, reveals details that below the surface that might otherwise disappear in glare. So I've also been really impressed by the image quality. There's very little vignetting that I've noticed or color cast. Sharpness remains pretty good, and the filter feels really well engineered. So you can rotate the polarizer and the ND separately. So when you get to the end, keep going, set the polarizer to the level that you want, the angle that you want, and then make the adjustment for the variable ND. Okay, so on to the third item, and that is this Benro 75mm bowl hi-hat tripod. Back in December last year, I visited the Falkland Islands for a 2-week adventure that was absolutely magical. Slight aside here, if you would be interested in a trip of a lifetime to the Falklands with me, have a look at my website, links in the description below, and you'll find details of an early season trip that I'm organising for October 2027, timed to coincide with the elephant seals pupping, which should be amazing. You get blood-covered giant petrels coming in, fighting over afterbirths. We'll have 5 species of penguins, rockhoppers, Magellanics, Macaronis, kings and gentoos. We'll have sea lions, elephant seals, albatross, giant petrels, and a lot more. So do check that out, and hopefully you'll be able to join me. Link in the description. But back to subject, the tripod. A major problem traveling around in the Falklands is you travel from around the outer islands in small aircraft, and that means that you're severely restricted with weight allowance. And carrying a large, heavy tripod is firstly difficult, takes up a lot of space, and is expensive at £5 per kilo excess baggage. So I decided to buy this Benro 75mm hi-hat. It's essentially a low tripod designed for heavy camera setups. And this Benro version uses a 75mm bowl, which means I can transfer the mount from my big tripod to this one, which makes it very versatile for me. Surprisingly, for such a little tripod, the stability is incredible. Especially, I'll show you the kind of windy conditions I was shooting in the Falklands, where we had winds averaging 25-30 miles an hour daily, and then we'd get gusts 40-50 plus miles per hour. So filming from ground level, whether it's a penguin colony in the Falklands or flamingos down by the lake here in Lake Ergini, the hi-hat gives you that low angle, intimate view of your subject. It's also a lot more stable than splaying a larger tripod, splaying the legs wider. It's a lot easier to carry, a lot lighter too. It's really compact, and it's also been useful filming here inside hides where you're fairly restricted with space. It's just one of those bits of kit that has made life just easier, and it's so quick to set up. It also comes with these rubber feet which sort of mold round different, especially on rock. It's fantastic. There's spikes as well that comes with, and it's just been a real game changer for me, and so much easier to carry around than the big heavy tripod. Okay, so that's the 3 pieces of kit that I wanted to tell you about, to share with you. Just 3 bits of kit that have made life easier for me, and I thought you might be interested. Sabi, shush! You might be interested in them as well. So, just to surmise, none of these purchases are going to change the conditions in which we shoot. The weather, the wildlife, they'll still be as unpredictable as ever. Waiting times will still be long. Early mornings will still definitely be early. It's just these 3 pieces of kit have removed some of the frustrations from the filming process when you're out in the field. They've made manual focusing much easier, they've made controlling exposure much quicker, and they've made low angle filming far more practical, easy. Just plonk it down and away you go. And sometimes that's all you need from equipment. It just shouldn't get in your way. It should just simply help you concentrate on telling the story that you're trying to tell, and be able to get on with filming without faffing too much. So if you're considering any of these items, based on my experience, they've all earned a permanent place in my kit bag, and you can check them out in the links that I've left below in the description. So I'd also like to hear from you. What's one piece of camera equipment that you've bought that made you wonder, why didn't I get this earlier? Why did I wait so long? Let me know down in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I don't often ask for thumbs up and subscribes, but I will on this occasion. So if you can do that, that would be great. It would be a real help. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you again soon in the next one. Bye for now.